Welcome back to English 4.0, the radio show. Let's go! Advanced. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to class number 168. 168, yes, and I am joined today by a very special guest in the studio. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Layla. Layla, how are you?
I'm doing great, Kyle. How are you?
Good, fantastic. And Layla, of course, you all know from the television, from Aprende Inglés, from the TV course, and now Layla, of course, as you know, we're following the same content. So, Layla, I'm sure all the listeners know you and they study with you. So, do you have any tips? Do you have any tips for the listeners here in terms of following the course and improving their English? Any tips, pointers?
I would say the most important thing is to repeat as many times as possible.
Yeah.
We're always very picky with that, but it's important. If you don't repeat it, it doesn't stay in your head. So don't be shy. While you're at home, say it as many times as you can, always out loud.
Yeah. And even here in the advanced portion, I think a lot of the students think, oh, I don't need to do that because I'm an advanced student, you know? But really, yeah, you're right. Speaking out loud, repeating out loud, always beneficial. So, yeah, good advice. There we go. All right, so how about we start with a little review of yesterday's material?
Okay, let's go.
So yesterday we were practicing with, first we had question words using what? Sorry, questions using what? The question word, what, I should say. So let's practice. This is one of my favorite drills, you know? I have a lot of favorites, I guess, but this is one of my favorites. It's the mastering the interrogative.
Okay.
So I'll give you the answer, and then you can ask me the question that I've already answered. And of course, at home, what do they do at home, Layla?
And at home, what are you guys going to do? You're going to repeat.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, I'm sure just like me, Kyle is very, very, very picky. Okay, so I'm going to be asking him the questions, and I want good intonation. Okay, so pay attention to the intonation and repeat it with me as I say it.
Okay. All right, so he said he wanted a glass of water.
What did he say?
Yeah, what did he say? Okay. He'll call the police if they don't go away.
What will he do?
Yeah, what will he do? What will he do? What will he do if they don't go away? He'll call the police. Yeah. She drives a truck for a living.
What does she do for a living?
Yeah. To do for a living, right? What do you do for a living? I'm an English teacher. What do you do for a living?
I'm an English teacher.
That's right. So what do you do for a living? Yeah. We can do whatever we want.
What can we do?
It tasted like fish.
What did it taste like? Okay.
What did it taste like? Yeah. What did it taste like? Like fish. A lot of food, you know, they say it tastes like chicken. That's what they say. I had, for example, alligator meat once. Have you ever tried that?
No, really? Alligator meat. And what did it taste like?
It tasted like chicken. Yeah. I had alligator meat. I think it was in Louisiana. Yeah, I was in Louisiana. I went to New Orleans and I tried alligator meat. That was before the big flood.
Okay.
You know, I went there and I tried alligator meat and it did. It tasted like chicken. It was good.
Okay. Is that the strangest thing you've ever tasted?
Oh, that's a good question.
Okay, let's
Is
ask
it the
Kyle.
Strangest thing.
Let's ask Kyle a question with what, okay? What is the strangest thing you've ever tasted?
The strangest thing I've ever tasted is, that's a good. You've got me stumped. Maybe I actually ate a small piece of snake meat once. Snake when I was in Asia. A small piece, and it didn't. Well, I guess it didn't taste really radically different, but it was. Jacob, I guess the thought of it.
Okay.
What about you?
I'm pretty basic.
Chicken?
I can't say that I've tried anything too strange.
But even in Spain, you have some certain parts of the pig that I wouldn't normally dig into in Canada, you know? They cut the ear. Do you eat the ear, Layla?
No, I've never tried the ear.
Okay. All right, well, why don't we carry on with our exercise here? Okay. A spark from his axe caused the fire. So, he was cutting wood, right? He was chopping wood with his axe, and somehow it caused a spark. So a spark from his axe caused the fire.
What caused the fire?
What caused the fire? Yeah, a spark from his axe. We'll need a wrench to fix it. Now, wrench, of course, is, you say, llave inglesa, right? Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. So what's the question?
Okay, can you say it one more time?
Llave inglesa.
Okay.
But no, now I'm going to... We'll need a wrench to fix it. A wrench.
Okay, so everyone, what's the question? What will we need?
What will we need? Yeah, we'll need a wrench. Okay. All right, let's move on. Why don't we move on, Layla? Because things move fast here on the program, because we don't have a whole lot of time. So we can move on to another drill, one of the classics, really. This one is where we practice with the simple past and the present perfect.
All right, one of my favorites.
Yeah, one of Layla's favorites, one of mine as well. Layla, how many Christmas cards did you send last year?
I sent 15 Christmas cards last year.
Christmas cards.
That's right. Now remember, in Spanish, a lot of people like to say Christmas because you guys say Christmas, but in English, it's Christmas card.
Yeah, it's funny. I went into a store in December and it said, Tenemos Christmas de Navidad, which to me meant we have Christmas of Christmas. And I said, oh, Christmas cards. Yeah, Christmas cards. So, and so far this year?
So far this year, I haven't sent any Christmas cards.
So far this year, I haven't sent any. Okay. How much money did you steal from me last week?
I didn't steal any money from you last week.
And so far this week?
I haven't stolen any money from you so far this week.
Right, so far. So every time we're using so far, we have to use present perfect, right?
Exactly.
So far. So we have this idea of the time continuing up to now, inclusive, starting in the past, continuing up to now. So we need the present perfect there. Layla, how many aspirins did you take yesterday?
I took 2 aspirins yesterday.
And so far today?
I haven't taken any.
That's good. Okay. How many reports did you write last week?
I wrote 25 reports last week.
Oof, that's a lot of reports. And so far this week?
I haven't written any.
All right. How many times did you drive a Rolls Royce last week? Not a Rolls Royce, but a Rolls Royce last week.
I didn't drive a Rolls Royce last week.
Okay. And so far this week?
I haven't driven a Rolls Royce. I would love to, though.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it would be nice. Someday I'd like to drive one, a Rolls Royce, maybe someday. All right, let's move on now and take a look at our expression of the day. Expression of the day. All right, it is time for the expression of the day. And our expression of the day today is small potatoes. Right now, if something is small potatoes, it basically means it's not very important. It doesn't have a whole lot of power or authority, right, Layla?
Exactly.
It's small potatoes, Something is small potatoes. It's just one little person, like in a big company, there are maybe hundreds, maybe thousands of workers, and one of them maybe is just, to the manager, maybe is small potatoes, small potatoes, Anyway, so that's our expression of the day, small potatoes. But let's quickly move on because I don't want to run out of time today. So we can talk now about a phrasal verb, which is to shut down. To shut down, like to shut down. What does this mean, Layla? To shut down.
To shut down means to close. Now, would you say it means to close forever?
Typically, yeah. Yeah, to shut down a factory.
Exactly.
If a factory shut down, chances are it's not going to open up again.
Exactly.
Yeah. So to shut down, to close, yeah, typically with a factory or a company or someone's operations. You know, my hometown, I come from a very small town, and we have a paper mill there. And people in the town are worried about the mill shutting down, you know, because, well, for a few reasons. They make paper, and it's expensive. The workers are expensive. The process is expensive compared to other alternatives in Brazil, for example. A lot of the paper now comes from Brazil. But my hometown, the little mill there makes the paper for the Washington Post.
Really?
In Washington, D.C. It comes from my little town. And but now they're starting to lose some contracts, and they don't ship every week now because the purchasers are looking for cheaper alternatives, and it's not looking good. It's not looking good. So now if they shut down, if they shut the mill down, of course everybody's worried because it's the biggest industry in town, and it would mean a loss of a lot of jobs, you know. So to shut down. Now I have the verb to shut, and in the past, yesterday I shut. So shut, right?
Exactly.
So why don't we practice with a few questions here with an affirmative answer. So I'll say, did the factory shut down last month?
Yes. The factory shut down last month.
Yeah, the factory shut down last month. Did it shut down because of the recession?
Yes. It shut down because of the recession.
Yes. Do factories shut down every week?
Yes. Factories shut down every week.
Would more factories shut down if the economy got worse?
Yes, of course, more factories would shut down if the economy got worse.
Yeah. Now, what do you think? Do you think a lot of factories are going to shut down, Layla? Let's be honest here. The economy's not as good as it's been. What do you think?
Well, I think a lot of factories are going to shut down, but not just because of the economy. It's just because of industrialization in general. I mean, we're advancing, and there's a lot of new technology, and so slowly, things are going to be shutting down. Factories are going to be shutting down because we won't need them anymore.
Yeah. It's sad sometimes, isn't it? We can be replaced by machines sometimes, you know, and workers, you know, sometimes being replaced by machines, factories, at least getting smaller and requiring fewer people. And
it could also be positive, though, because they could shut down places that pollute. For example, some factories that pollute.
Yeah, for sure.
The land around, if they shut them down, that would be positive.
Yeah.
Right?
All right, so there we go. To shut down. So to close operations, to shut down a store, a factory, whatever. We have the phrasal verb to shut down. All right, let's move on now and take a look at our vocabulary of the day. Vocabulary of the day. All right, yes, it is time for the vocabulary of the day, our 5 words of vocabulary. And the first word today, we say chantaje. Chantaje. You say in English,
blackmail.
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 Right. Blackmail. Oh,
right.
yeah.
Yes.
So you can blackmail someone, maybe if you know something about them. I'll tell them unless you pay me or whatever, right?
Exactly. And this
Blackmail.
is the verb and the noun as well.
Exactly.
So the verb to blackmail and then the noun blackmail.
Yeah, blackmail, like correo negro, right? Blackmail, we say, mail. Talonero de cheques. So a group of, you go to the bank, check, like a
checkbook.
Checkbook, yeah. I used to work in a bank. Did I ever tell you that, Layla?
No, you didn't. Kyle, I had no idea.
I worked in a bank, and one thing that I did that was interesting is I worked for a while. I worked in a few different jobs, but I worked for a while at the front desk of a bank. And people would come in. Now, checks, I think, are more popular in North America than they are in Spain.
Yeah, definitely. And
People don't really use checks here.
Only for really, really, really large amounts of money.
Yeah. But I used to sell or issue checks to customers or clients of the bank. They'd come in and maybe their checkbook was running out, so they needed new checks, and they'd come in, and especially a lot of the more senior clients loved to have certain patterns or designs or colors on their checks. So they'd come in, and I had a whole catalog of checks, of layouts, of potential colors. They'd look through I shouldn't just say senior, everyone, but people there were certain people that really enjoyed picking out checks with certain colors. So they say, I want the blue border, and I want to have an eagle in the corner. And I want 50, please. And so I would place the order, and then a few weeks later, the book would arrive. A little box with the checkbook inside would arrive. I'd call them, and they'd come pick up their checks. Do you have a checkbook?
No, I don't.
So a checkbook. Me neither. I used to have one in Canada. I used to occasionally write checks for rent, I think, paying my rent when I was in university, but no. People don't really use it anymore. We use debit cards and credit cards, right?
Yeah.
Here we have química, which is
Chemistry.
Chemistry. Did you study chemistry?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Meaning, I studied a tiny bit, but not very much. Chemistry. Convincente, convincente. Convincing, yeah.
Kyle, do you think you're convincing?
If I tell people that I'm Spanish, would I be very convincing? Would they be convinced after the way I've just pronounced that word? Probably not very. My argument wouldn't be very convincing. I love telling people I'm Spanish, though. They say, where are you from? I say, I'm from Toledo, or I'm from Aranjuez. But they never believe me. I don't know why.
They don't fall for it,
No.
huh? No se lo tragan.
Exactly.
To fall for something, tragarse algo.
Exactly. They don't fall for it because maybe my argument isn't very convincing. Yes. Galleta. Cookie. I've had plenty of arguments, more than one argument with British people over cookie versus biscuit. Yeah. Now, it says right here, galleta, cookie. And Layla, let's settle this once and for all.
It's cookie.
Exactly. It's a cookie. It's a cookie because British people will, I'm joking. I'm not going to say that they're wrong. I'm just joking. But British people refer to a galleta as a biscuit. Now, for me, a biscuit is
it's something salty. For us, it's salty.
Exactly.
Salty.
If you're having some soup, maybe you go for a biscuit. But for me, a cookie is like an Oreo. It's a cookie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yeah, I've had debates with people over this. So I should tell you that you can say either one. Galleta could be cookie or biscuit, but more North American to say cookie and more British to say biscuit, right?
That's right.
Okay. Well, you know what, Layla? We're out of time.
Oh, we've run out of time.
We've run out of time, because they say time flies when you're having fun,
That's right.
So I think we've had a good program here today, but we're out of time, so we'll finish there. But I will be back tomorrow, same time, same place. So remember, keep listening and keep studying, keep working hard, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, Layla.
Thank you. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye.